Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Now I'm currently playing here on the PlayStation 4, as you may have noticed, and the game has been out on this platform here for quite a while now, so I've effectively come to an end for the tutorial sessions that I've been doing, but I really do want to continue on with the playthroughs, so I'm going to continue on with that, and I think I'll just call this series Endeavour to mark the experience, the adventures, and the general undertakings that go on within the galaxy of Elite Dangerous. Now I'll make sure I do keep that title in these videos because I know not everyone will be particularly interested in watching playthroughs, so if you do see that title then you know exactly what to expect, so you can either click on the video or you can wait for my regular series. And of course all my normal videos will continue on just as they always have for the previous weeks, months and years. Another week, another community goal then. I'm heading to the system Kamad Henu in the next few moments, but first I just want to hand in here some vouchers that I've collected, some bounty vouchers in the Deciat system. Got around about $250,000 here, so I might as well collect this before I head on over to the new system. Now it's not too far away, so I'm going to head there in the Viper. There's two community goals there, as usual to be expected. There's one for some bounty hunting and one for some trades as well. So when I'm there, I'll probably transfer over my trading ship. The trading ship is still a Type 6, so it's got a fairly extensive cargo hold. Not too bad. Then again, I might travel there in my Diamondback. I think I've got a reasonable cargo hold in that and would be able to do a bit of work with it. Let's have a quick look here first anyway, before we make any real decision in that regards. I want to go down to contacts and hand in these combat vouchers. Oh, a little bit more than I expected. So 300,000 credits. No point keeping these for the community goal in the other system because they require something a bit more specific than this. So just going to have a quick look what ships I've got stored here. I know I've got this one and I've also got the Diamondback Explorer. Unfortunately that hasn't got a huge cargo hold in it at the moment. Yeah, just 16. So not really worth taking. I'm going to instead spend a bit of extra time travelling manually to the next system in the Viper here. Hasn't got a huge jump range, so it's going to take me 10 jumps to get there. So we'll go there now. And I'll catch you in just a moment. Well, that all took a little longer than I was actually expecting. I've got kind of used to the Asp Explorer and the Diamondback Explorer with their massive jump ranges, over 40 light years in most cases, and being reduced right down to just 15 light years in the Viper here. Well, it took me a bit longer to get here. Nothing too significant, about quarter of an hour for just 10 jumps. And of course I've got a very small fuel scoop on here, which meant I had to hang around at the stars for longer than I'm used to as well. But no matter, we're here now at Sergeant Market, and we can sign up for some of the community goals here. Okay, now I have no clue where my Type 6 is, so it may take it quite a while for it to transport over here. Or it might come over here quite quickly, don't know, but we'll find out as soon as we're in there. Either way, whilst it's en route, we'll head out to an extraction site or a nav beacon or somewhere, and I'll get myself involved in a little bit of combat there. So community goals are very much the way I'll be making my money so far on this version of the game. And in fact, when it comes to earning money, I've actually been doing very little else to get that. I think community goals are a very good way to get some regular income. Of course, I've still got a long way to go, but I'm not in any hurry, and I'm taking this very much in a slow, relaxed manner. Let's just have a quick look then at my previous community goals. And yeah, I've still got this one outstanding here. Back in Carl, I'll need to go and collect that a little bit later, but you can see another 6 million to come, and I've got nearly 50 million over here, so not too bad all in all. Right, let's get some fuel and let's see where my Type 6 is. We want to bring that over so we can get involved in the trade CG as well. So there's the fuel and shipyard. I might as well summon over the Diamondback as well, I guess. So 20 minutes for the 20 minutes for the Type 6. Right, good, fairly cheap to bring that over. And 22 minutes for the Diamondback. So yes, I could have travelled over here in the Diamondback and then sat around for 22 minutes whilst I waited for the Viper to turn up. Wouldn't have been quite as quick that way, but near enough, and it would have meant I wouldn't have had to spend quite so much time doing all those jumps. But not to worry. Now I don't need the Diamondback over here, but it makes it easier for travelling a little later on. Okay then. So let's get to the mission board and have a look at what this community goal is all about. So first, chapter house appeal and protecting the traders. So this is the first one we're going to sign up for. Contributions only 37 at this particular point. So the CG's only been going for about an hour and a half. Yeah, they normally have 7 days on them. It will end next Thursday. So let's sign up. And we'll sign up for the other one as well. I wonder how many contributors that's got. 150. So more people actually getting involved in the trade CG at this point than the other one. No tiers unlocked over there on the right. And of course I've got insufficient contribution. So then, whilst we wait for the Type 6 to turn up, let's head on over to an extraction site. And assuming there is one here in this system, let's have a quick look. What have we got? So any planet with a ring is what we're after. Oh, well, look at that. No planets with rings here at all. A bit of a shame. Okay then, so the alternative is to go for a nav beacon here and do a bit of combat there, or look for a nearby system. Now sometimes the CGs will take in bounty vouchers tied to the major faction that this minor faction is associated with. So this one, their allegiance is to the Empire, so we may be able to hand in Imperial bounty vouchers. Actually, it depends on who we're doing this for. Let's just go back there and read which faction this is for. Don't want to spend time shooting ships that are for the wrong ones. Oh, we've gone to the commodities market again. Right. So community goals and protecting the traders again. The organisation has issued an open door for various commodities for the first of these starports and has placed a kill order on all ships on its wanted list, so traders contributing material can do so safely. It has promised to reward the pilots who deliver bounty vouchers to a Sargin market in the Kamadhenu system. The campaign begins. Right, so it looks like we can actually give any bounty vouchers here. Perhaps I should have kept those alliance ones after all, although I'd be very surprised if they actually accepted them here, seeing as there's not any alliance ties here, are there? No, they're all Imperial. The only logos there are Imperial ones, so yeah. So then, let's have a look on the galaxy map instead then and see if perhaps we can take some of these. It's been quite a while since I've done a combat CG like this that hasn't had bounty vouchers or bounty hunting actually inside the same system where the community goal is located. So it may be that I'm going to make a mistake here by going to another system. Actually, let's go here. What we're gonna need to do is check the allegiance and switch off everything but Empire, so then we can check out the Imperial systems here. So I've got to buy a bit of trade data there, not trade data. I've got to buy some exploration data so we can have a look at what's going on inside this system. And look at this. This is going to mean a bit more travelling around, isn't it? Which is a little bit unfortunate. The easiest option is starting to look like I should just head to the nav beacon instead, isn't it? Let's try a couple more. Nope. Would have about over here? You thought there'd be loads of ringed gas giants dotted around, wasn't there? So there is one here, but it's 323,000 light seconds. That's perhaps 15 to 20 minutes in Super Cruise. Don't really fancy that. What else have we got? Did I look at that one? I can't remember if I looked at this one. Obviously not, because there's no system data. Oh, here's something. Right, so what I'm going to do then is head there. It should only be 2 jumps. Oh no, it's quite a few jumps. 3 jumps. Eh dear. Not made this one easy, have they? Did look here, didn't I? Yeah, I thought so. Done enough jumping around, so I don't fancy doing too much more. Let's just have a look up a little bit. Nope. Well, okay, I guess. So it's either over here at Gendi, or it's at a nav beacon. And seeing as a nav beacon is right here in the system, that's what we're going to do. We only want to do a little bit of combat anyway while we await the Type 6, which is probably nearly here now, after all that time I spent there on the system map. Right, we'll be there in just a moment then. One thing we can always say about nav beacons then is that they always have a stunning backdrop. This close to the stars, they look absolutely gorgeous. Although sometimes it does make it a little bit difficult to see your targets. Let's see what we can find around then. So yeah, I'm still fighting in a Viper. I do have enough now, of course, to pick up a reasonably well-spec'd Vulture, and it's something I might do a little later. The Vulture is actually my favourite combat ship. But for now, I'm enjoying the Viper here, and I have got it modified a reasonably amount already by the engineers, but this will improve over time, depending on how long I keep it, of course. Now, some of these ships are fairly hefty targets, but assuming we can find a wanted one, then they will also carry a fairly good bounty on them. Right, we've got a nice bit of data there as well. So this is in a wing. What was it? Let's get over there again. It was a Adder and a Viper, wasn't it? I think we can manage both of them at once. Now what I'm going to do is take on the Adder first, because it's the easiest ship to take down. We should be able to destroy it very, very quickly. And then we'll turn our attention to the Viper. Now the Viper is going to be a bit more of a threat, but shouldn't really be too much of a threat, to be perfectly honest. Let's put all the pips then into weapons. And here we go. Now these are federal agents, so they might not be carrying much in the way of bounties, unfortunately, but here we go. Let's see how quick we can take down these shields. Now any moment now the Viper is going to start firing on us. There we go. But we should be able to get rid of this Adder very, very quickly. Right, swap targets then. Oh, wrong key combos. So like I said, the Viper a little bit more of a threat than the Adder. Oh, now we're getting a bit of help here anyway by the local security forces. He's deployed his chaff, making him a bit more of a difficult target, but he's not going to last long anyway. Oh, come on, we would have done this on our own. I didn't see the amount of bounty I got for the adder, by the way, but anyway, there we go, 2 targets. Right, let's see what else is around. Now, the reason I spent so long looking for resource extraction sites, I'm going to have a look at the material, by the way, because you never know, some of this may be worthwhile. How many chemical processes have I got? It's always handy to have more. Actually, I don't think I need any more of them, not for the rank of upgrade I'm going to be looking at. Or the grade of upgrade. Grade of upgrade, So nothing there I really want. Yeah, the reason I spent so long looking for resource extraction sites is because generally I prefer spending the time flying in those rather than in the nav beacons here. But these can be just as good when it comes to looking for targets. In fact, the resource extraction sites are nowhere near as good as they actually used to be a long while back. Loving the Imperial soundtrack there in the background. Not really as close as I should be before I started opening fire, but it's going to go down quite quickly, I would imagine, so I'm not too worried. In fact, they're shooting at me but completely missing. And getting a bit of help here again. So he is going down quite quickly now. Lost a ring on my shields, but that's really not a problem. Okay. So I've got a few bounties here. Nothing significant at the moment, but not too bad. Let's have another look at the materials here. Focus crystals may be worth it, but not too worried. Let's have a look what's going on over here then. Seems to be quite a lot of ships actually here on the radar. That's another thing I suppose nav beacons do have over resource extraction sites. Generally speaking, you'll find more ships in these places than you will in extraction sites. As I was saying earlier, extraction sites used to be far better than they actually are now. Well, some of these contacts are actually equipment. They were, I don't know what happened. I don't know whether they were nerfed or whether it was an unintentional change, but quite often now you don't get quite as many wanted ships in there as you once did. Previously, you'd be able to fly straight from one wanted ship to another, to another, and keep going for effectively as long as you like. Nowadays, there's quite a bit of downtime I find between targets, and it's of course you can go to a hazardous extraction site where things are a little bit better, but generally speaking, I don't find too much difference between the low, the regular, and the high extraction sites, at least in terms of difficulty. I'm by no means exceptional at combat, you all know that by now, but even I don't struggle when it comes to combat against most of the NPCs in extraction sites, or indeed nav beacons. Just hoping that that all changes when the return, patch 2.4 turns out. They're going to be Thargoids in that, as we know. Let's hope they're not a walkover like all the other NPC ships. So really not finding anything else around here at the moment. Douglas Stores. Are you wanted? No. So I might just go with the very limited bits of bounty I've got here now. It's certainly not much. It's enough to get me into the top 100%, which won't be anything of significance. But by this point, I think we should have found that the Type 6 will have arrived, which means I can get on with a bit of trade. And it's early days of the community goal, so there should be plenty of resources to head on out and collect. I'm going to leave these, and we're going to go back to the station, I think. Let's hope that the Type 6 isn't too long away then, or maybe it's here if we're really lucky. Otherwise it's going to be a few minutes wait. We're going to hand those bounty vouchers in. Let's have a look. Are you here yet? Yes, they're here. Brilliant. So let's change over to the Type 6. Now I have modified the jump range on the Diamondback. That's now got a jump range of 43 light years. Unfortunately, I wasted about 10 rolls on the Diamondback trying to get it above 43, and they were all completely ineffective, giving me a much lower ranges than what I'd managed to get early on. I wish now I'd saved those rolls for the Type 6 here, because I could have boosted the jump range on this. At the moment it's completely unmodified in terms of jump range. In fact, I think the entire ship is unmodified, and it would have been quite nice to get a slightly improved jump range on it. 26 light years isn't too bad, but we probably could have got that much closer to 40 or so. Right, so redeem all our bounty vouchers. Only 35,000, unfortunately, I think. Then we got some Alliance ones over here as well, which I can't be handed in. So just as well I handed them in the previous system, which is what I was suspecting. Okay, so let's have a quick look where that puts us in terms of this particular community goal. I suspect the top 100%. I'd be very surprised if it gets us any higher than that. So yeah, no rewards just yet because the tiers aren't unlocked. That is a community effort, the tier 1, tier 2 and so on. As the community make a collective effort to put us up into higher tiers, the rewards will get ever higher. So, what do we need for the trade CG? Actually, let's go here. It's a bit quicker to see that. Right, we need gold, robotics and auto fabricators. And through the magic of the internet, I know if we go to a very specific system here, we should be able to find some robotics there. Excuse me. So the system is Yarite, or Yarite, I don't know how you pronounce these places. Yarite. And it's actually very nearby, so just one jump, fortunately enough, and they should have a fairly decent supply there. One thing that I do want to make sure of though before we go anywhere is that I've got enough inventory. 100 units, so the cargo hold is well fitted. Let's head on to the next system then. And we should be able to pick up some robotics there. Now again, you probably do remember by now, and in fact you've used this many times by now yourself, I'm sure. But just in case you are unaware, you can use the website eddb.io to find out where any commodities are actually located. Very handy.
Ship released. You are clear for departure.
I'll try and remember to link it in the video description. Now that website, along with Inara, as well as ED Shipyard, are my 3 favourite websites. So, yep, very, very good tools, very, very handy. Now, if only all trips could be as quick as that one, it'd be pretty great, wouldn't it? The only real downside I find with the Type 6 is that it doesn't handle very much as it looks. It looks like a brick, and it flies like a brick. The speed isn't too bad, but the maneuverability is pretty bad. Don't know if you noticed the music cutting out a bit there. It seems to still be a bit of an issue with this version of the game. Right, let's hope they've got some robotics in stock here. Coming in a bit slower than I normally might, but... Anyway. Right, now this time I actually do want to go to the commodities market. I have a bad habit of keep clicking into that menu, even when I don't actually want it. Now, I'm sure this is going to be one of the first stops for many people. I believe it's near the bottom, isn't it? Or have I gone past it already? Should be here. Let's hope they still got some. Yep, 11,132 units. And I'm sure, as I said, that's soon going to start disappearing. So, there we go, 100 units. Time to head back to the previous system. So it's a very quick trip between those two. Oh, hit that a bit funny. It's a very quick trip between those two stations. Something I'll be doing a bit more of.
Execute system shutdown. The Imperial Flight Operations Bureau wishes you a pleasant and productive visit, Commander.
Let's hand off these robotics then. Small profit there. Wouldn't expect to make too much of a profit unless you've got a serious cargo hold. And let's have a very quick look. Again, not expecting to be too far up the ranks with this, at least not yet. Only in the top 100%, about what I'd expect. And the first tier looks like it's about to be unlocked very, very soon. Now, whilst there's a good supply of those robotics over there in that system, I'm going to head on over and get plenty more. But for now, I'm going to leave the video where it is. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.